Welcome to Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement, part of the Treehouse Podcast Network. On today's show, we're going to talk about reptiles, rookie experiences, and who knows what else. I'm your host, Steve Rutherford, co-host for today's show, Detective Curtis Hadley.
Great to be here, guys. Thank you.
And we're joined with two guests in studio. We've got retired Officer Jimmy Womack.
Hello.
And retired Officer Ricky Hale.
Hello, how you doing?
Welcome, gentlemen. Everybody having a good day today?
So far.
So far.
The day's still young. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, yet to be determined. We'll see how this goes.
Yes.
Right.
At the end of this.
Ricky's like, at my age, nothing surprises me.
No, not really. Yeah.
At least we're all honest here.
Yeah.
So. Well, and you know what, Curtis? You're the only one here that's not retired.
Oh, yeah.
What's the holdup?
Oh, just 50 more years. Something about paying taxes, paying the house off,
Did you say 50?
15.
Oh.
That's what I like. You keep paying, I keep receiving.
Absolutely. It makes the wife happy when I go to work every day and somehow a check though shows up like for 2 weeks. So,
well, I was at a retirement ceremony yesterday and saw two guys retire. I mean, they're going on to second careers, but it's cool to see two guys that have finished out their law enforcement career and are moving forward.
it's good to see them retire with life still left in them. They could do something like that. You don't want the guys that are broken and just are going to sit out there on the front porch. You want the guys that still have some life in them, and they did their service. Now it's time to go out and have some fun. So
yeah, exactly. You go do something fun.
You start a podcast or something.
Yeah, I definitely recommend the encore career.
Now, Jimmy, you're retired as an officer. Wait, how many years did you do in law enforcement?
Active 27.
And you still reserve or have your commission carried, correct?
Yeah, I reserved for Denton County SO.
Oh, really?
Okay. What all agencies did you work for during your time?
Well, I started with the Navy, doing security forces in the Navy, stationed in New Orleans.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Absolutely.
And then for evaluation purposes, I started with the New Orleans Sheriff's Department as a special deputy and got to do foot patrol for Mardi Gras, worked in the Orleans Parish Prison, got to do a bunch of stuff associated with that. So that was my first civilian law enforcement job. Then I moved back to Paris, Texas, I should say, which is where I graduated high school. And then worked for Paris PD for 20 years, and then took a retirement gig, encore career, again, if you will, in Lake Worth as the chief of Lake Worth.
That a retirement gig as a chief.
Yeah.
You were the chief of Lake Worth?
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah. I was almost his number 2.
That whole lake was yours?
No. Just the coast.
just the dry parts.
Just the coast. The water belongs to the sheriff's office.
Marshals get
Marshals,
that.
yeah,
Marshals
exactly,
have that.
Just the coast. The coast of Lake Worth.
Yeah, the coast of Lake Worth, man.
Coast of Lake Worth.
How many vacations have I sent out there? None.
Now, Ricky, what about you? How many years in law enforcement?
I've got a total of 28 with the City of the Colony. I retired there in 2016. Before that, I've got about 4 years with Little Elm PD.
Okay, so from Little Elm over to the Colony.
Yes, sir.
And then retired from the Colony.
Yes, sir.
Are you enjoying retirement?
Oh, love it. I love it.
Retirement's not a bad gig.
No, not at all.
I didn't know you were a Little Elm.
Yeah, I was there for a while.
It was truly a little elm when he was there.
And
Now-
it was.
Yeah, now it's a full size.
It was.
It was a little twig.
Yeah.
It was. There was just 2 of us, one on day shift, one on night shift.
Wow.
The true meaning.
The roll calls, man, it must have been great.
It was. It basically back.
High five going through the hallway.
Back then you just had a time check with Denton County. That was it. As long as you checked in, with your time check, you were good to go.
What year was that?
Way past. Let's see. So it'd been back in the early 80s.
Covered wagons or?
Yeah. Well, you still use the little styrofoam cup with string.
Call boxes.
Smoke screen, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, call box.
Oh, okay. And you guys brought a lot of stories with you today. I'm anxious to get into those, but something I wanted to mention here at first. Karen actually brought a story to my attention this week, and she shared it with me. It was a guy, and I don't remember where this was at. I want to say it's somewhere local. He saw a snake out laying in the road, so he was going to save this reptile, and I don't know. He went out to pick this snake up to get it off the road. Normally I'm, steering towards the snake on
Absolutely.
the road. The thing, snakes move. They don't have legs. That's not normal. I mean, it's in the Bible. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Whatever. So the guy goes in, he picks up the snake to remove it out of the road, and said copperhead bit the guy.
Ooh.
Hey, he kind of had that coming.
Yeah.
So it just, hey, let's go ahead and toss out the public service announcement for the day. If you're not familiar with snakes and you don't know what's venomous and what's not, don't mess with it.
No.
Not at all.
So yeah, no.
And there's no organizations out there save the snake. I promise you.
Save the snake.
There's nothing out there that's like, hey, just for 38 cents a day, you could save this snake. No, because they're nasty and they bite. Okay,
They
that's the
bite
reason why
hard.
there is none.
Well, apparently this guy became fairly ill, obviously,
Oh, I bet he did.
and spent some time in the hospital for it. So yeah, word to the wise.
And
Don't-
anti-venom is not cheap either on the
No.
insurance. They rake you on that stuff.
Wow.
Life is hard.
Well, and continuing on with that, Jimmy, I understand you brought a snake story with you today.
I do have several snake stories.
Several.
But I'm gonna try to stick it to one. When you get used to getting these snake calls, you're just like, oh, it's just another snake call. And this one call, middle of the night, called people saying that there was a large snake. So I'm like, yeah, right. So
Sure.
just
large
drive
snake.
over
Just a
there.
little teeny.
When I get close to the house, I see people on the front porch. So I just park in the street and I get out of the car, and I'm carrying a SL20 flashlight.
So
and,
one of the big flashlights.
the big, yeah. So I start to walk through the ditch to kind of cut across to go over to where they are, and they're like, don't go through there. And I'm like, well, why? He's like, well, that's where that snake is. I'm like, well, where is it? And he pointed it over into some tall grass, not more than probably 5-10 feet from me. And I shine my light over there, and it was, I don't know, 15-20 foot long python.
Nope.
That
No,
was
don't think
as
so.
big around as I was. And I'm like, oh shit. And so I just run and jump onto the porch with them. I didn't even.
You were the guy that called.
Yeah.
Well, they called the wrong
I'm here to
person.
help.
The big bold police officer.
Scoot over.
Yeah.
Well, we needed to call somebody else. So a friend of mine at the time owned a pet store in town, and the name of the store was Swim, Slither, and Crawl.
Nope.
And so I called Tyler and I said, hey man, we got a giant snake. And I said, it's literally a giant snake. And so he came over in the middle of the night, and he said it was a female, whatever, python, and that it was shedding. And when they're shedding, they're very aggressive. And so he runs over and jumps on its head. And then after he did this is when he decides to elicit my help in wrangling the snake.
Nope.
And he's like, grab the bag. And I'm like, screw you. And
This ain't Crocodile Hunter.
so
Dundee.
I eventually went over to help him just to save his life. And so we pulled it over to the truck, shoved it into the truck. Long story shorter, come to find out it was like 2 doors down. The neighbor had this pet snake, if you will, and it had converted a bedroom in the house to its living quarters and had a big log in there, and they fed it rabbits, and something had broken the window and it escaped through that window. But yeah, that changed my mindset from that point forward when I got the routine snake call.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the red flag is when my animal has to be fed live animals. It's not a pet.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I've got to feed it something that's still alive
That's
and
a
go here,
predator.
kill that. That's a predator, like you said.
Yeah.
That is not like, oh, he's so cuddly.
Let's cuddle it.
Come
kiss it.
to find out, the snake's name was Monty.
Oh,
Monty Python.
in the Holy Grail.
You can't make this stuff up, guys.
No, not at all.
Oh my gosh.
And not only is this some huge python, but it's in their house. They sleep in the same house.
Right.
Yes.
And the snake can get out through a window.
What's going to stop it from getting them?
Yeah.
Imagine the stench in that house too.
Oh, I ain't worried about the stench. I'm worried about getting out and getting me.
Yeah, I'm worried about getting eaten.
It's like
Yeah.
we've lost 4 dogs this year. We don't know where they're
Yeah, exactly.
going. Here, Scrappy.
Monty.
Yeah.
Damn, Monty got him again.
Yeah, it's like
Go around with a little mouse in your hand, tickling. As you
No,
sit
you
there,
have
you
to
know.
have something bigger. It was huge.
No, yeah,
No.
I'm not good with that.
Nope.
But Ricky, I understand that you've also answered a call involving snakes
Yes, sir.
before.
Yeah, we get quite a few calls out there because, with the construction of everything, it's pushed all the animals and reptiles up out of their normal habitat.
Sure.
And we got a call one night at an apartment complex, and this lady found a snake. All she would tell us is that she just saw it. So we're like, okay, we get there. Well, for whatever reason, everybody chose me to be the snake person because I'm pretty well identify a poisonous one, and
I thought it was because you were expendable.
there ain't nobody rang your bell. All right, you told your snake story.
Just guessing.
It's like, wow.
Okay.
He does have a large jaw. I mean,
And mine's not named Monty. Okay,
All right, keep going.
it's the Holy Grail. Anyway, we get there. My sergeant got there before me, and they asked where the snake was, and it was in a planter. It was going up there. Some birds had made a nest, and it was just a rat snake, so it's about 4 or 5 foot long, and it was crawling up this chain to get to the birds. So my sergeant went in there, and he had his ass baton out, and he was fixing to try to kill it with that, and he just said, "No, I'm going to shoot it." And I said, "Whoa, time out, time out, time out."
Wait, where are you at again?
Yeah, I'm like, "You can't shoot us. You're in an apartment. Now, if we're out in the country, okay, we might be able to justify it, but here, no. So put your gun up." So I took my baton and I used that to help get it out. I like pulled the tail and then used that for the head of it, and it just wrapped around my arm. And I went up to him like, "Here, look at it."
No.
And I thought he was going to unass his.
well, that's why they call you the snake guy.
So I took it out and released it out by some woods that were right there. So that's one of them. And then I had another one where these people kept hearing a ticking noise. And I went in there and I was looking, and they said it's coming from in their closet from where their water heater's at. So I go in there and I start looking around, and I'm like head height with the water heater. And I kept hearing the ticking. It's like, and I'm thinking, nope. What kind of snake sounds like that? And I'm thinking rattlesnake maybe, or, just cut. Well, finally I look up to my left and I'm eye to eye with another rat snake. And that's one of their defense things they do to make that ticking noise.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It is kind of a way to let other animals know, that you're messing with something you might not know. So anyway,
Or to let humans know not to mess with
yeah,
It's very effective.
I don't recommend messing with any snakes.
No,
if
I
you have
won't.
the choice, don't mess with any, and that's why I did you that pre-claim deal about if you don't know the snake, don't mess with it.
Exactly.
But anyway, I grabbed it, took it outside, and released it over by the softball fields, and that's pretty much it. Other than we get several more, but
Okay. Yeah. And yes, that makes Ricky the snake guy.
Yeah, if you're gonna pick up a snake and go, it's just a rat snake.
The rest of us are like, no, I'm going to go to slide lock
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, if it has a mouth with fangs, it's a snake. I don't mess with it.
yeah.
Yeah. Fangs. Yeah. Fangs. It moves. It doesn't have legs. I've said that several times. That's not normal. That's just not right. I'm sitting there looking through the stories you guys brought.
Well, I did come up with remembered one snake story. If you got time.
Oh, go ahead.
We had one guy on the shift who was a snake guy too, and he would collect them and put them in a duffel bag. And I don't know what he did with them. Took them home and worshipped them. I don't know what he did, but he had one. He was on night shift, and he had caught a snake. Didn't tell anybody, and typically didn't. But unbeknownst to us, the snake had gotten out in the trunk of the car. And when he got up at the end of his shift, he emptied his stuff out, was going to get the snake out, couldn't find it. And so he didn't even say anything to anybody else. Well, the day shift officer came on, and an older guy, an ex-Allen PD guy, and he was riding around, and then all of a sudden on the radio, everybody on shift just hears, "The varmint bit me."
Oh no!
Like, what? And he's like, so open mic, and come to find out, this older cop was riding around in that car, reached over into the passenger floorboard to get a thermos, I think it was, and the snake that had gotten out of the duffel bag was in the floorboard and beat him on the hand. It was some kind of grass snake or something, but it didn't hurt him, but almost made him wreck the car. But the night shift officer ended up getting disciplined for collecting snakes.
What is it? You can't take a joke?
Yeah. What do you do on your? You got your write up. Your corrective plan. I promise not to leave any snakes in the car anymore.
I would make him do it 100 times on the chalkboard.
That's exactly right. You got to write it 100 times.
I wouldn't take a vehicle after him from
no.
from now on. And you talk about checking in your car before service. You're looking for dents and dings and stuff like this, but
not live animals.
Yeah, I'm not checking underneath all the seats in the vehicle to see if there's a reptile in there.
You would you would after that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd be asked to be moved to motors after that. No, you guys brought several stories today, and it looks like Jimmy, you've got some canine stories.
Some police canine stories. So we had this one where these two brothers we always had to deal with. They were just
knuckleheads.
Well, they're just notoriously drunk, and we'd go over to their house. They would get in fights and do all kinds of things. But they were Ronald and Donald.
What a name!
Yeah, but we get there. They had gotten into it. I don't remember which one it was, Ronald or Donald, but one of them had hit the other one, hit the mom, and they had the one brother and the mom was outside. The other one was hiding inside the house somewhere, and she goes, "He's in the house somewhere, and I think he has a gun." So we're like, well, so we call our canine, and so our canine goes in, finds the guy. He was hiding underneath the bed in a back bedroom. So me and the other officer go in, and we flip the mattress over, and we're trying to get him out of there, and we're having a fight with him. Well, the canine officer and the canine was still in the room. Well, the officer had pulled the canine back into a closet, and the dog was barking. And we were wrestling with this guy. Well, as we were wrestling, the other officer was kind of backing up toward the canine, and the canine was inching forward. And then all of a sudden, we were sitting there wrestling with this guy, trying to get handcuffs on him. And this other guy who was very religious, all of a sudden just starts yelling. He's like, "Oh, hell, fire, damn, get his ass off me." And I'm looking at the guy we're fighting, and I was like, "It's not him." And I'm like, "I don't know, what's your problem?" And I turned to look just in time to see that the dog had bit him right in the left ass cheek. And
his own dog.
Well, it was not the canine.
It wasn't the handlers.
No, it was just another patrol officer. And but he ended up having to get 6 stitches in his ass from the canine. And then we took Ronald or Donald to jail. So that was a very interesting night.
Yeah, that's a good report of first injury.
Yeah.
He
got a couple of daes off for that.
I bet he got lots of ice cream after that.
Yeah. Really.
Took it in the shorts.
This is Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement. Check us out online at offbeatcopshow.com.
Let's welcome Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration into the studio. Their number's 833-COOK-DFW, and the website, cookdfw.com. Daniel, how is life treating you?
It's going wonderful, Steve. Thanks very much, man.
That sounds like life's treating you pretty good if it's wonderful.
Have nothing to complain about.
Even better. Now, I have to brag on you for a minute. A few weeks back, we were advised that we had a leak in the ceiling of a rental property of ours. I sent you a message about it, and you got it taken care of very quickly, and that's very much appreciated. And the reason I contacted you about it is because you're someone I trust to get the job done right and to get the job done correctly. How important is it that a homeowner have a trusted contractor they know they can call whenever they have an issue with their home?
You know, Steve, we talk about this several times, and it's one of the most important things that you can do as a homeowner is be responsible and be prepared for something that's going to go wrong at your house. I suggest everyone know they have a good relationship with their HVAC, air conditioning company. They need to have a trusted electrician that they can call, a plumber, and of course, you know, a general contractor, a roofing company, something like that. Those major items are what's going to happen at the worst times. And that's why you want to have somebody already picked out, already vetted, that you know and trust, like you said. And we really appreciate you calling us because, you know, that's just an example that when you have somebody like us, you don't have to go on Google and search out and then worry about reviews and then figure out if they have other bad things going on or go to their BBB page. You don't want to have to research things in the middle of an emergency. Let's have something ready to go. You got a few numbers that are at your house. Your wife knows where they are. You know, if you're out of town, your neighbors know where they are. It's just smart to have those things prepared. And that's what we always want to tell everybody. You know, you've seen us in action now. And that's what we do for every one of our clients. We want to get them taken care of the most efficient, way possible and make sure that their home is back to safe.
Yeah. It's all about taking care of the customer, taking care of them quickly and getting the job done right. And Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration, Daniel, you're the guy I trust for my home and for our rental property. Again, much appreciated. You got the problem solved. You got out there, you got it fixed, you got it done quickly. If you are in need of a new roof repair, remodeling, or restoration, give Daniel a call at Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. The number's 833 Cook DFW. Again, that's 833 Cook DFW. The website, cookdfw.com. Be sure to ask about their free first responder upgrade.
Hi, this is Joanne Jackson. My husband, Dallas Police Officer Brian Jackson, gave his life serving the city of Dallas in 2005. The RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation supports the families of Dallas and Fort Worth area police officers and firefighters who have selflessly fallen in the line of duty. To donate, please visit offbeatcopshow.com or treehouseonair.com and click on the link.
And we're back to more Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement. I'm your host, Steve Rutherford, co-host for today's show, Detective Curtis Hadley.
Still here, guys.
And it's a good thing you're still here.
Yeah.
We'd miss you if you're gone, Curtis.
I'd miss you too, Steve.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
We are joined with two guests. I know you threw me off there. We're joined with two guests in studio today. We've got retired officer Jimmy Womack.
Hello.
And retired officer Ricky Hale.
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, Ricky hung around too.
Hey,
So-
Ricky Bobby.
Can't be like I said. Can't be two number ones.
Oh, that's true. All right, guys. This segment sponsored by our good friends at Alexander Financial Management. If you have questions about retirement planning, investment strategies, life insurance, or estate planning, check out Alexander Financial Management at alexfm.com. Now, guys, there in the first segment, we talked about all sorts of little reptile calls and
Critters.
everyone's affection to snakes,
Mm.
affection for snakes. Let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about OC spray, pepper spray, if you will. And I understand you guys brought some stories in regards to pepper spray because we all love this stuff so much because, you know, if someone deploys it, we're all going to get it.
Yes.
When you said that, I thought they brought pepper spray with them. I was like, I did not sign up for this, Steve.
No, we patted them down before they came in the studio. No
Oh, yeah.
pepper spray.
No one likes pepper spray.
That stuff's so messy. Now, Jimmy, I understand you had quite an experience with pepper spray.
Yeah, I'm definitely certified. So I have been sprayed multiple times. One time I sprayed myself. We had this.
That's why they had the safety button on it.
I carried.
What's this thing, Dave?
I carried punch too, and
Dude,
carried it
don't.
upside down in the front, and it was a soft case, so the bottom of it was soft, and which I never thought was a problem until this one particular night. We had this guy who was going around breaking into vehicles, and we got a call on him. So I get in the area, I park about a block or two away, black out, and I'm walking through there and I'm covering my badge, trying to be as covert as possible. And I could see him through the street light, and I saw him go in between two houses, and he never came out the other side. So I'm like, man, there he is. So I go over there, and it was a carport, and there was a Ford pickup parked in his carport. And so I knew he'd come in one side and not gone out the other, so he had to be there. So I squat down to see if he was underneath the truck, and I squat down, and I could see him proned out in front of the truck, but I also hear a shh. So I stand up real quick. I'm like, what the hell was that? And I look around, and I don't see anything, don't hear anything. So I squat back down, and I hear it again. And I stand back up. I'm like, what the hell was that? And then it hit me, and I'm like, oh my God. And but the guy was there, so I couldn't stop doing my deal. So I run over there, grab him, pull him out from underneath the truck, and the whole time my eyes were burning, but by this time it had soaked through my polyester pants and cotton underwear, and it had lit me up. And so
you sprayed yourself in the balls.
I sprayed myself in the
he got it in the nether regions, man.
it was quite a, I guess I sprayed myself twice, because the first time I didn't realize what it was. Second time, figured it out. And so, yeah.
Sprayed each ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Double ball.
And then some. So it took me a week or so to recover from that. But it was a lesson. I got a new Safari Land OC pouch that was not soft bottomed, and I quit carrying it upside down. And so that's my one of my two OC spray stories.
So the first time you squat down, you hear it go off. You don't know what it is, so you went back for more.
Yeah, I didn't register. I never had that happen before. But it damn sure registered the second time.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I could see trying to decontaminate there.
It's not going to work too well.
Well, you could get on the eyewash station if you get the right splash going.
If you straddle it.
Don't drink out of that water fountain at the station. And you said you had another one?
Yeah, the second one was not a personal spray, so.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Once shame on, me.
Yeah.
Whatever, however that goes, the George Bush. But the second one was we were doing some warrant services, and we had this felony warrant on this guy, and we knew he was at this trailer house, or we believed he'd be at this trailer house. We get there and knock on the door. This lady comes to the door, extremely intoxicated. Like, hey, we're looking for so and so. Like, we believe he's here. She was like, he's not here. I'm like, you care if I come in and look? And she says, no. So I go in, look through the house. Well, in the back bedroom, there was this trap door that you could open up and crawl underneath the trailer house. So I'm like, that bastard. And he's underneath the
house.
Yeah. So I go around, and it had underpinning of the house, but there was this one section that was loose. So I go over there and I look, and it was daytime, and I didn't have a flashlight on me. I open it up, and I couldn't see anything underneath there, and I get the bright idea. I'm like, I'm just going to spray. And so I stick my hand under there, and I just empty a can and close it up. I'm like, now it's just a waiting game. And So I wait. No, I don't hear anything. No coughing. No, sneezing. None of that stuff. So I'm like, he went back up through that house. Went up back through that trap door. So I go back in the house, and the lady's sitting there in the living room, and I say, and she's sitting there. And I said, hey, you mind if I check again? And she goes, no, come on in. I go in. I get about 3 steps in the door, and it's like, oh my God. And so I'm like, so I'm like, he ain't here. And so I leave. I'm like, I don't know how that lady's still sitting in there, but I guarantee you that person we're looking for is not in this house. So, that was my second.
But she's just in there. You can smell it inside the house.
Oh, it was horrible.
Not a big deal.
You never caught him?
No. Well, I don't know if we ever caught him or not, but we
Not
didn't
that day.
We didn't catch him that day.
Maybe he's been spending the last however many years building up immunity to OC spray.
He's probably still under there hiding.
He may be.
But
Like, one more day.
Yeah.
I still like how he started out the story. It was at a trailer house, and the lady was intoxicated and middle of the day. It's like, awesome.
I assume he was going to say, Mom, stop that.
I started to say, all those things were just normal statements.
No, they were 100%.
And a trailer house with a trap door.
Oh, you got to have one of those.
Got to.
Am I the only one that didn't know trailer house had a trap door? I mean, is this a standard feature?
No, it's an add-on. It's an add-on.
It's
Extra. It's
Safety first.
Yeah, you get the porch and the trap door.
Yeah.
So
Well, that made it a 2-story.
You call it a trap door. It's actually a fire escape. Okay, guys, let's just use it as what it is.
It comes as a combo.
it's a basement.
Yeah, it's basement.
I just take the elevator.
In your trailer house?
Yeah. You know you make it when you got an elevator in your trailer house.
That's one hell of a trailer.
Yeah.
Got an elevator in it. Oh. Wow. Okay, Ricky.
I don't know if I'll be able to top that, but I'll try. Whew.
Yeah, and I understand you've got some experience with pepper spray as well.
Yes, sir. One of the things funny about this is I was an instructor for OC. So, yeah, that's what I laughed too. We went out one night on a felony warrant service, and I got called out, so I was just in blue jeans and in my gear. And I had taken my pepper spray and put it in my front pocket. Why I put it in my front pocket, didn't keep it in the holder, I don't know. But we get to the house, and I said, you know what? I'm going to check underneath the bed, because I asked anybody if they checked it, it hadn't. So I bend down, and I get down there really low, and all of a sudden I hear this.
Awesome.
I'm like, ooh. And I listened again. And about that time, the isopropyl alcohol, kind of opened the pores. And I said, good God, I've sprayed my nuts. And not only once did I do it, like he said, I did it twice. I leaned down again.
This is why they're friends.
Wait, what are the odds?
Yeah, this is why they're friends.
That's and I did. I sprayed myself twice. I said, okay, this is enough. I took it out at that point and gave it to somebody else. And I'm outside with my pants unbuttoned, trying to get air.
They're nut buddies. That's what it is, dude.
Hey, that's a good one.
I'm just saying, man. It's like, hey, man, have you ever sprayed yourself in the nuts? Like, you did it too.
We're cousins.
If you have not sprayed yourself,
You're not in the club.
You're not a cousin.
Oh, I'm not in that club. No.
Oh,
I don't want to join the
Mine are
club.
still virgins.
We don't even want to talk to y'all. If you can't do that, then you're not worthy.
Yeah. Red Hot Chili Peppers here.
It's just a couple Scoville units.
You have never lived until you sprayed yourself in the nuts.
Oh, man, I tell you what.
It gives you a
walking
whole
out
new
like John
appreciation.
Wayne. I'll fix your wagon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't get quick enough to get out of those.
I'm still fascinated by the fact that, you look at the human body. I mean, there's a lot of areas and you guys have both sprayed yourselves straight up in the nutsack.
Well,
Yeah.
like we had talked before, it's a very self-correcting issue. You generally don't do it twice.
Yeah.
No.
Well, unless it's right there at that same moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're slow learners.
And he was an instructor.
It's something you want to claim real often, okay?
Like, I'm going to pull this out of my personal arsenal, guys. Don't put it in your front pocket. Okay? I mean, I couldn't sit down for a week and a half.
Which
Had to
begs,
walk around with an ice pack.
it begs the question. Ricky, were you ever a taser instructor?
Actually, no.
Okay, good.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
that's another reason he was not a firearms instructor either.
Actually, I did that.
That's why he walks with a limp.
Hey, I do. Have you been to my class?
I did think of another
All righty.
story if you have time for that.
Of course.
So this was back in the early 90s. So we had individual single cells. We had a dorm jail cell, and then we had 3 individual cells. And somebody had arrested this guy and put him into the single cell in the middle. And but he had taken his clothes off and shoved them in the toilet and was flushing the toilet, trying to flood the cell. So we shut the water off to the cell, and he was throwing stuff and peeing and trying to pee out into the dorm, and everybody in the dorm was complaining about him. So we go into to get him out of that cell to put him into a rubber room. And this other officer, I almost said his name. I'm going to try to keep it out. But the other officer had a big can. It was called Deep Punch. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Big black can. It was like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah,
and,
like one for the bears.
Yeah,
Yes.
had a recoil to it.
Oh my good Lord.
The other officer says, back up to the back of the cell, or we're going to spray you. And the guy reaches into the toilet and grabs his shirt that he had tried to stop it up with and wrapped it around his face. Well, the guy was buck naked, right? And so the other officer says, back up, or we're going to spray you. Well, he takes that wet shirt, wraps it around his head. He goes, spray me, mother, And so the other officer just angles it down a little and
bullseye.
Let's go the Deep Punch.
It was a deep punch.
It was a deep punch. And so the guy just starts screaming, and then he runs over, and the stainless steel toilets in there, and he runs over and he starts straddling the toilet, and he's just cupping the hands.
Water.
Yeah, just trying his best to sanitize himself.
Well, like they say, large amount of copious water.
Yeah, well,
now I must ask the officer that, or I guess jailer maybe.
No.
It's an officer? Okay, well the officer that
I'll say his name because I think he would appreciate it. Rick Monsibas was his name.
Okay,
but
I hope he does appreciate it.
Well, we'll find out.
But and it's ironic. His name is Rick, because I'm wondering where he aimed when he deployed the pepper spray. Ricky, did you certify him in pepper spray?
No, that name doesn't sound familiar. No, sir.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Y'all do look alike, though. Now that I think about it.
He's good looking, isn't he?
aim for center mass. So yeah, lower mass. Now, you both also said that you had some stories in regards to your time as rookies, and I think everybody's got rookie stories.
Oh yeah, you got to.
And Ricky, what kind of stories you have from your days as a rookie?
When I was in training, my FTO was a stickler for spit shine boots. The leather gear had to shine, this press uniform. Well, we went out one night, and out there in the colony, before they made South Colony all the way through, there was a graveyard out there, and everybody used to go out there and go partying. Well, we had a report of a party out there one night, and we go driving out there, and we started sinking. And I told my FTO, I said, "Look, whatever you do, don't stop. Just floor it, and we'll get out there." So he does. We get out there, and then he stops, and we sink. Oh. And of course, everybody else hauls ass, and they're gone. Well, it's just us out there in the middle of this field with the red lights on, and we're looking like we're looking for aliens or something, So I get out and I have to push. He tells me, "Guess what? You're pushing." I'm like, "Okay." I thought that's what a wrecker's for, but nope. My job. So I get out there behind the car and I start pushing, and I told him again, once you get a bite, I said, don't stop. And I'm covered in head to toe in mud, and he's just laughing. So finally, because it was one of the old Crown Vics. And finally it starts grabbing, it starts going. He's going to leave me out there in the middle of this field to walk back. And I'm like, no, that ain't happening. So I jump on the trunk and literally dig my hand into the little crack right there where the trunk comes down. And he pulls me out. We're about a half a mile out there. And we get back. And he pulls up there, and I get out and I'm looking, I'm like, I hope you don't expect me to come in tomorrow, like spit shine and everything like that. And he goes, yeah, I do. And I'm like, great. So,
Dude,
was that I hope that made your rookie book.
Yeah, it did. It did.
He's got to stick to it.
As a negative. Yeah.
We're going to have to give you one on appearance today.
Yeah, really.
Hey, but problem solving. I mean, you solved his problem.
Yeah, I did. So I got I think a 4 was the rating in that one, high rating.
Well, 300 pounds on the trunk. I'm sure that helped with the traffic.
Hey, I didn't weigh that much. I didn't weigh that much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
I was like a slim one.
Why don't you just hit him in the balls with some OC spray there?
I'm telling you.
Hey, I'm not above it.
I'll tell you, he's not.
You would
not.
be.
Yeah. Yeah, you would be above it now.
I hope you're not below it.
Yeah, no. This is that type of show. I have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, my waistline.
He got the one-liners, doesn't he?
Boy, you ain't kidding. Normally that's you.
Well, Ricky, going back to your rookie days, what is the strangest call you answered as a rookie?
The strangest call I had one time was when I was doing DWI enforcement, and I had an old boy that he owned a business there, and it was on a Sunday morning, so I was making my rounds, checking the city limits, and I saw this vehicle, and I'm thinking, oh no, and I thought it was like close enough to the, and I know if you show me an officer who's never done this, I'll tell you that somebody's lying.
I already know where he's going.
Yeah, I said, oh, they're close enough to that city limit, so I'm just going to turn around. So no sooner than I go to turn around, he turns on the same road that I'm fixing to turn around on. I'm like, man, I got to stop him now. So I stop him, make my contact. He gets out of the car and he goes, do you know who I am? I'm like, no, because I hate that, because when we were in Frisco, you'd always get, some of the cowboys and stuff like that. You know who I am? I'm like, no, press hard, 5 copies.
Yep.
Because we used the old school. And anyway, so he gets out and we're in between our cars. And we move over to the curb wise, and he gets out this briefcase. So of course, I'm like my head on a swivel. I've got my hand on my pistol. I'm like, this guy's going to do something stupid. Yep. Well, that's where he had his license and everything like that. So it was nothing that came out that wasn't supposed to be. And he's sitting there talking to me, and he says, this is who I am. This is where I work. You can come down there. We'll give you free food. And I'm like, well, no, thank you. That's okay. I really appreciate it. And when I'm talking to him, he's probably about 5'4", every bit of 350 pounds. As I'm talking to him, and again, we're kind of looking eye to eye, and I'm kind of up and down a little bit. And all of a sudden his pants dropped. They completely fell off. He was in shorts. And for whatever reason, I don't know if he just had them too low at the time when he got out of the car, or if maybe he was doing something in the car. I don't know. But immediately I'm like, okay, look, dude, pull your pants back up and we need to continue this. So he does. And I finally said, look, is there anybody that come get you? Because you can't make this stuff up. And he did. He called a waitress to come get him. And she came and picked him up and took him home.
I admire your integrity, my friend, because that was pre-camera. And when somebody offers free food, I'm like, whoa,
yeah.
Free food.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just thinking maybe the guy knew who you were that stopped him.
Oh no.
And he probably, maybe he was just looking to get
preparing for nut
sprayed
shot.
in the nuts.
That's why he's like, this is the pepper spray guy.
Spray me.
No.
Are you looking for additional ways to market your business? Advertise right here on Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement and beyond. Contact the Treehouse Media Marketing team today at treehouseonair@gmail.com. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com. Treehouse Media and you. Let's grow.
Planning for the future is challenging, and getting where you want to go in life requires strategies built around your unique financial needs. Alexander Financial Management is here to help you reach your goals. As fiduciaries, Alexander Financial Management will pursue the best solutions for you, no exception. While their decades of experience and service are available to everyone, Alexander Financial especially wants to help first responders and their families. The founder is a former police officer, and the executive team includes a retired fire captain and a retired police officer. Their extensive background in public service gives a deep understanding of the public retirement systems of Texas. So for retirement planning, investment strategies, life insurance, and estate planning, Alexander Financial Management has your back, so you can look forward. Get more info at alexfm.com. That's alexfm.com. Investment advisory services offered through Transcend LLC, a registered investment advisor. TE3 and Alexander Financial are not affiliated entities. Insurance products and services are not offered through TE3, but are offered and sold through individually licensed and appointed agents.
Heads up, it's time to leave your worries outside and laugh inside the treehouse.
I play the more generic game, drunk or stupid.
I've been both at the same time, so I'm just saying. Like,
Oh, we all have. Look, this treehouse is not made of glass.
Funny news, viral stories, and ridiculous insights 5 days a week inside the Treehouse Show. Available on your favorite podcast platform and treehouseonair.com.
And we're back to more Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement. We've got Curtis. Why are you laughing over there?
No, let's just keep going. We'll figure it out.
All right, Curtis. I'm a little bit concerned about you today.
No,
Did you take those meds this morning you're supposed to take?
No, I was just always so happy that you went Offbeat and not the other way around. Beat off.
I'm not even going to ask why you're thinking that right now.
Okay. Let's listen to this next story.
All right. We've got two guests in studio with us today. We've got retired Officer Jimmy Womack and retired Officer Ricky Hale.
How you doing?
If you have not checked out our website yet, check it out. It's offbeatcopshow.com. There on the website, guys, you can listen to all episodes, as well as at the top of the page, we've got a link you can click on for the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation. The Treehouse Listeners Foundation, established many years ago, provides monetary support to families of our fallen police and firefighters here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, covering 10 counties. Foundation set up pretty much to help those surviving family members out with some immediate needs by getting them a check. So I invite you to take a look there, click on the link, and make a donation. Also, if you are an officer and you would like to come on the show and share a story, then send us an email, offbeatcopshow@gmail.com. Again, offbeatcopshow@gmail.com. And one thing on the website, and Curtis, I don't know if we've talked about this before, something we just did a couple of weeks ago. There's a microphone icon on there. You can actually click on the microphone, leave us a voicemail message, leave your story. If you'd like us to share your story on the show, just tell us who you are, give us your story, and we'd be happy to share it on the show. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well. You can watch the show on YouTube. Give us a like, a share, a follow, a subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Now, Ricky.
Yes, sir.
I understand that the dogs tend to like you.
Yeah, quite a bit. It seems.
Ooh, let the dogs out,
Ricky.
Yeah.
Any stories pertaining to a dog show?
Yes, sir. I have
affectionate
one.
dog.
Go slow. Go slow.
Very
Ricky.
affectionate.
Go slow. Go slow.
No, speed up.
Harder.
All right, show's yours, Ricky.
I gotta say
Okay,
deeper.
go ahead, Ricky.
I was in FTO training again, and we had this lady that called in at least once or twice a week complaining about noise, suspicious people, just cracks in her house.
He was a Karen.
Is that somebody y'all had?
No.
Oh, everybody has one.
Oh,
Karen, yeah.
Wow.
oh, sorry.
I've got a Karen.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we get a call there. We get there, and I'm in lead again, so he's watching what I'm doing. And I get up there, I make contact, and we're standing at the doorway, and she's in a nightgown. Now, granted, this lady's got to be in her 90s. The only way I know how to describe it for you people that ever seen like Playboy, the granny in the back of it.
I just read the articles.
Okay, that's what I did. I just basically for the jokes, I'd have good jokes to go to. But anyway, she was kind of sickly, and as I'm sitting there, I kept feeling something on my right leg, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And I'm looking down. I'm trying not to lose eye contact with her because I know my FTO will gig me on it. And I look down and I see this Pomeranian, so I kind of like kick it to the side. And, of course, she's looking at me like, "What are you kicking, my dog?" And I'm like, "No, ma'am, no, ma'am," And the dog comes right back over to my leg and starts humping. And I'm like, what are you doing? And the lady goes, can't you see I'm sick? And about this time, she raises her nightgown up completely. And let's just say that what was supposed to be up top was down past her waist.
Gravity was not nice to her.
No, not at all. And finally, that dog, I think, had finished what it was doing. And I had to go back and take care of that too. So that was really a fun evening. So that's where the joke was about loving Pomeranians.
Okay, Ricky.
Uh-oh.
You're a rookie. You're on a call.
Yes, sir.
And you're being flashed by a 90-year-old woman as her Pomeranian dog humps you on the leg.
Mm-hmm.
She has a sex-addicted dog.
I mean, this is stuff you can't make up.
But I mean, it was nice you'd let the dog finish. I mean,
well, I mean, it was only, natural.
It
was only natural.
Yeah, it's a Pomeranian.
I got my eye full, so.
even though you were in FTO, you knew at that point that you had made the correct career decision.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to be. This is where I needed to be.
This is a straight A cop right here.
Love and Pomeranian sounds like a song.
Hey. Yeah, I've got nothing.
No, I would say it's a hair-raising experience, but it's Pomeranian, so
it was a very hairy.
Well, at least you're talking about the dog and not the lady.
Yeah, the dog. Yeah. No.
Ricky, I think you brought us our.
I'm more intrigued that she felt comfortable enough to show you what was under her.
Oh man, it was nothing for her. Any officer who went there got flashed by her.
You were. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just.
I thought maybe she knew you were the old spray guy.
Oh no, yeah, spray the nuts now. Here, she said, let me cool you off.
Oh, great show.
All right, guys, that's what we have for today. We've got the 90-year-old flasher with the dog.
The Pomeranian.
Yeah, the sex-addicted dog.
Sex-addicted dog with a happy ending.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of happy endings, that's it for today. Jimmy and Ricky, it's been a pleasure having you in. Thanks for coming in studio today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Guys, until next time, keep it real, keep it funny, stay safe, and watch each other 6.